Hey y'all, this is Gail, teaching here from Southeast Texas for Veterans Yoga Project. It's chair Tai Chi. You'll need a chair. There you go. I'm going to stand up, move this chair out of the way, come to the back of the room. Just know I'm going to come back up to the front of the room when we do our guided rest, when we do our gratitude practice. So here we go. I'm going to stand up, move this chair out of the way, make sure it's not in the camera. Let's see. Is it in the camera? Nope. Okay. And then I'm coming to the back of the room. And I always kind of have to look in the camera here to see, okay, can you see my feet when I bring it forward? Okay, good. So from here, I'm away from the back of the chair so that I engage my tall posture muscles. And we're always keeping everything between the easy and ouch. Something's weird, you don't like it, don't do it, okay? Just do what you can with what you got. So to start our chair Tai Chi class today, we're going to take that right hand. Y'all have to figure out which one that is, okay? Right fist, that's the sun. That flat palm, that's the moon. And then we bow down to one another to start our chair Tai Chi class. Welcome. Thank you for coming today. So from here, we're going to do what's called the Atlas point rotation. So that's to kind of soften those neck muscles a bit. So we're going to take our nose and draw a circle. You may hear some little crunchy, crinkly things happening when you do Atlas point rotation. The atlas is at the top of the spine, inserts into the head. And you can go like big circles or tiny circles. Kind of depends what, how this feels to you today. If you're kind of stiff, you may notice this a lot. Now, if you tend to get dizzy when you're having your eyes follow, the shape, you can have your eyes be center and then do the Atlas point rotation. You're going to get a little extra eye exercise when that happens. And then let's pause. And let's take it and go the other way. So here we go. Again, you're going at your own perfect pace today. I like to sit away from the back of the chair so that I engage those tall posture muscles a little bit. Sometimes when I sit in the back of the chair, my posture is not as best as it could be. And I do have scoliosis, so, I have a challenge there. One side is super tight versus the other. So again, do what you can with what you got. One more time, all the way around. Oof. And then bring it back to the center. Did y'all hear some crinkly noises? I know I did here on that right-hand side. Next is swimming dragon. So swimming dragon is also noticing your range of motion of your, your shoulder neck muscles, okay? So we're going to breathe in, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, push hands one direction, turn your head the other direction. Now don't go to the ouch zone. Stay here, breathe in, belly and chest expand. And as you exhale, contract that belly button. Bring the head, the hands back to heart center. Very good. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. Very nice. Exhale, push one direction, turn the head the other. Woo. Notice if your head turns more one side versus the other. Again, breathe in. Exhale, back to the center. Swimming dragon. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Staying here, inhaling. Exhale, back to the center. Belly button tight. Relax the belly. Breathe in. Last time. Exhale, push it away. Inhaling back to the center. And exhaling. And then from here, hands out to the side. We'll do what's called the finishing breath. You inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then hands as if they were on top of the ball, and you're bringing down the energy down to your dantian, your energy center. That's here about 2 inches below your belly button. In fact, let's do some dantian breathing. So this is a very unique thing to Tai Chi, chair Tai Chi. It's similar to low belly breathing in yoga. And so what we do, we kind of find our belly button, and then you take your 2 fingers and you go from the big knuckle next to the hand. You're going to go 2 fingers underneath your belly button and then hop your top finger underneath. And that's the center of your dantian, your energy center. So I'm going to take my palm, the center of my palm, into that area, and then the other hand on top. And I'm going to kind of wiggle my shoulders a little bit, move my knees a bit. So the objective of dantian breathing, low belly breathing, is you think about the belly expanding. Try not to have the chest move so much. So it's a very long, thin breath, if that makes any sense. So breathe in slowly. Now the chest is going to move also, just know that, okay? And then exhale, contract that belly button towards your spine. So really kind of draw it in. And then again, breathe in, belly out, exhaling. And one more time, breathe in, belly out, and exhaling. Beautiful. From here, we're going to open up the hands like a little starfish and bring the hand out to the side. And then I'm going to lower my arm just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my opposite ear, drop it towards my shoulder. So this brings more blood flow, opens up that carotid a little bit. But I'm going to take my thumb, turn it to the back of the room. So I get a little activation of that upper arm, shoulder a little bit. Now, with my ear towards my shoulder, I'm going to take my chin and look where the wall meets the ceiling. So it's like drawing a half circle or half of a smile. And then I invite you to bring your chin towards your chest, slowly, slowly, woo, and then towards the extended arm side. Try to look where the wall meets the ceiling. Now, if that makes you dizzy, have the eyes be looking straight ahead, not looking at the wall, at the ceiling. And again, back to the center and release. Let's do the other side. Again, spread the feathers, spread the fingers, arm out to the side. I'm going to lower it just a little bit and then turn that thumb to the back of the room so I really activate that arm musculature. And I'm going to take my opposite ear, once again, drop it towards my shoulder bone. And I kind of feel lots of stuff going on here. Now, I invite you to take your chin, draw a half smile towards where the wall meets the ceiling, kind of like towards the corner of the room there. And then let's softly drop it down towards the chest, again, being mindful how this feels. And then take your chin over to the same side, arm extended. And then back to heart center. Very good. Again, open carotid brings more blood flow to the brain. Very much of a benefit. Let's spin the hands. So this loosens the wrists and good for challenges with carpal tunnel. Plus, gives you a little bit of air here on the chest, on the neck. And you may notice that one wrist spins easier than the other. So it's not the entire arm, okay? It's just the wrist, if you can. Again, do what you can with what you got. Now we're going to pause and go the other way. So when I go the other way, I notice my left does not spin as easily as my right. And, you know, that's a funny thing or peculiar thing with me, yeah? Maybe you notice some differences too. So Tai Chi and yoga is all about body awareness. Yeah, you get to go into regular classes, you'll start to be aware more about your issues. Issues with the tissues, as I like to call it. And then a couple more. Ooh, I like this one. This brings more air the opposite direction. And then let's slow it down, slow it down. Very good. Let's alternate. Let's do shoulder rolls here. I'm bringing mine back behind me and down. Oof. Again, you're going at your own perfect pace today. And reverse. So this helps also to prevent the hump in the neck, that tech neck. In fact, we'll do that dowager's hump easing position next. So we're going to shrug the shoulders towards the ears and make it look funny. Should look funny, right? You're going to turn halfway over to the side. So again, we're contracting the upper back musculature when we do this, and release. Might feel kind of stiff, might feel kind of challenging when you do that. Let's do that again. Shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Shrug, shrug, shrug. Oof. Like you're wearing earrings with your shoulders. I know, that's a weird analogy, right? Turn halfway the other way. Ooh. Ooh, it feels strong on that outside shoulder. And release. The best thing about that pose is when we stop it. Okay, from here, let's just alternate the shoulders. I'm kind of going, I think I'm going backwards this time, yeah. And then reverse. You may hear lots of creaky stuff going on here. Next is wild goose flutter. So we're going to flutter the hands, bring them up and down. Bringing energy into those wrists, those arms, those fingers. Now if you can, we're going to turn to the side. One out to the side, one to the front, and switch. You can turn your head too, maybe. And we'll go and do one to the front again, and then do one straight out to the side. Notice your range of motion. I can't quite go very high when I go straight out to the side and back to the front. Very good. From here, let's kind of shift over to one side of our chair, maybe hand on the leg or hand on the shoulder. Let's stir those arms. So it's not the hands, okay? It's the entire arm. Ooh. And I have my hand on my shoulder, and I kind of feel my snap, crackle, pops happening here. Again, you're kind of noticing your range of motion. If you've had chest surgery for whatever reason, or maybe a pacemaker or an defibrillator, they put your arm in a cast for about 2 weeks so you don't move the wires that are going into your heart. This is one of the exercises you do to get your range of motion back. And then reverse. So I had to do that for my pacemaker. So it's like, oh man, that side was super stiff for the longest time. But I just did my physical therapy. Now, when I started doing this Tai Chi training, I was like, oh yeah, that's one of my physical therapy things we did to get that shoulder, that arm complex working again. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Let's shift over to the other side. And here we go. Again, hand on the hip, maybe hand on the shoulder. Maybe you don't have to shift on my chair, but mine's kind of wide here, so I shift a little bit, yeah? Notice if one feels a little bit more easier to do. Again, we're noticing left side versus right. Yeah? And keep breathing. Keep on breathing. Y'all hearing any noise in that shoulder today? Maybe? Yeah? Okay, and reverse. Go the other way. Ooh, I felt it on the reverse. Didn't feel it in the original direction, but that reverse, I don't know what it is. We got to work both directions. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. Now sit back up nice and tall. Very good. Again, some of these can be done standing. If you don't like to stay seated, just know that, all right? So next is Kuan Yin paints the rainbow. So we're going to take a hand out to the side. And so our thumb is pointed towards the front of the room. We're going to take that thumb, turn it to the back of the room. So pinky towards me, thumb away. Feels weird. We're going to inhale, circle the arm up. And then exhale, bring it back behind you. Snap, crackle, pop. Oh my goodness. And then you inhale, gather them both up. Flip the hand, bring the other hand down. And then to begin with, palm is facing towards you. Now turn the thumb away, pinky towards me. And let's do this. Breathe in, circle it up. Exhale, back behind you. Ooh, this side's spicy. Inhale, gather them up. Flip it and bring the other hand down. Turn that pinky towards me, thumb away. Here we go. Breathe in, circle it up. Do what you can with what you got. Exhale, back behind you. Ooh. Again, inhale, gather them up. Flip it, bring it down. All right, turn that pinky towards me, thumb away. Here we go. Breathe in. Range of motion, isolation of that shoulder joint. Exhaling. Inhale up. Flip it. Last time on this side, pinky towards me, thumb away. Here we go. Breathe in, up, up, up. Exhale, back behind you. Is one side easier than the other? Probably. Inhale, gather, flip, and bring that hand down. Again, pinky towards me, thumb away. Here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather them up. Exhale, float them down. Very good. We're going to cup the hands and swing the arms. So here we go. Loosen those shoulder joints, or I don't think it's actually the joints, but it's the musculature around the joints. And I always feel like I'm on a swing when I do this. Your upper body kind of moves a little bit. You kind of feel this little oscillation, little movement going on. Again, you may notice one arm flows higher than the other one. That might be happening, yeah. And let's tap our shoulders or your upper back if you can. So it's going to be a little extra bend in the elbows. Again, you're going at your own perfect pace. You do not need to match me. It may be slower. It may be faster. Oof. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Just going to let it dangle there. From here, let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down fists. Exhaling. We're going to do eagle claw next. So inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hands, spread them out. Exhale, push it forward like a stop sign. Inhale, back to your chest. And then exhale, out to the side. So you're going to open and close the fists 5 times. You can look at it too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waist. Other side, fist to chest. Increase your mobility. Exhale, sky high. Very good. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. Open up and close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back to your chest. All right, I think I see a frozen screen. Can y'all see a frozen screen going on here? Or is it still going on? Everything okay? Still okay? Yeah?
It's
Okay.
good.
Okay, thank you. And let's go back. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bring down the chi. All right, next we're going to bring a leg out to the side, heel down, toes up towards you. And really bring the toes towards you. Now, if there's lots of spicy stuff going on in the back of the knee, bend the knee a little bit, okay? And this is to prevent foot cramps, improve ankle flexibility, and then when we start to pump the foot, that brings back that lower blood supply back to the heart, okay? Now point the toes away. You may feel a little bit different here with your musculature. And then we're going to point and flex. So here we go, point and flex. So I'm here with bare feet on my carpet. It's a little bit easier to kind of move with the bare feet. So, if you have the sandals, the shoes, just be, doing what you can, okay? This is also considered to be the blood glucose lowering technique. Sometimes they tell you, take a 10-minute walk after a heavy meal to lower that blood glucose, the sugars. And you can also do this by pumping the calf, okay? It's a study from University of Houston. It came out last year. Calf pumping helps to lower the blood glucose. All right. And then let's bring it in. Let's do the other side. So bring that leg out. So you're on the back of the heel, toes towards the sky, toes towards you. Woo, contract. Oh, you probably feel that contraction in that calf, yeah? Oh, my. And if I'm here at the edge of the chair, so I've got I don't have a lot of my behind real estate on the chair, so I'm kind of like more here at the front of the chair. And then point the toes away. Ooh, my foot just popped. Breathing in, breathing out. Staying here just for a moment. Again, you can always bend that knee a little bit. Then you're going to feel it a little bit more here on the quadricep, the top of the leg. And let's do that point and flex. So here we go, point and flex. Very good. We're going to do some things for our ankle flexibility or isolation, also for strengthening the knees next. So these are movements we do in our chair Tai Chi class. We also do them in the Tai Chi class too. I'm getting ready to start teaching that format here soon. I have to pass my tests first though. And then bring it in. From here, go ahead and scoot back in your chair just a little bit, and you're going to take your fingertips underneath your knee, kind of lean back a little bit, and let's point and flex the foot in the air and try to have it just be from the ankle down, okay? And this is supposed to help lessen knee pain. You do about, how many of these? 30. We won't do 30 today. And then just let it be soft. Now we're going to draw a circle inward, ankle circle inward. So try not to do the entire leg. Try just to isolate the ankle. There may be some snap, crackle, pops happening here. Ooh, I kind of feel it there on the ankle bone. Then pause and reverse. So sometimes your reverse takes on a different shape than the original direction. Maybe lots of noise going on with that ankle. And release. Very good. Let's do the other side. So again, fingertips underneath the knee, lift that foot up, and then point and flex. Notice if this foot feels a little different than the other one. It might. Again, this foot rotation, the point and flex, that's for strengthening knees. It's kind of a sneaky way to do that. And then draw the circle inward. Ooh, big old pop there. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. And let's reverse. Go the other way. And my foot's making a lot of noise on this one. Very good. And release. We'll do one more for the knee strengtheners, but you know what? Let's clap our hands. Create a little heat between those palms. And let's tap softly the outside of the knees. That's for lessening knee pain. Now we're not whapping, it's just tapping, okay? This is let me think here, the gallbladder meridian in traditional Chinese medicine. Let's do the inside, which is the stomach meridian. Feels a little bit more tender on that inside for me. Again, you're going to be a little bit more tender loving care if you have some knee issues going on today. Now let's scoot back in our chair, all the way back. Okay, here's where you do scoot back, okay? And again, strengthening all the ligaments, the muscles around this knee complex. So we're going to flex that foot up into the air, and I got to move my leg up a little bit. So toes towards you. Might feel a little spicy, but we're not going to stay here for very long. Then we lower the foot and hover, and then we point the toes forward and release. Let's do the other side. So flex that foot. Again, I lift my leg a little bit there. Woo! And then lower, hover, and point. And release. Other side, here we go. Maybe you draw your belly button tight, flex that heel, lower, hover, point the toe. Very good. Other side, flex the heel, woo. Lower, hover, and then point that toe. Excellent. One more time each side. Maybe take an opposite hand and also flex your hand and lower, and then point your toes, point your fingers forward. So we're working both sides of the brains when we do this. And lower. Other side. Here we go. Flex that foot. Flex the opposite hand. So this is dementia prevention, using both sides of the brains here. And lower, hover. Point the toes. Point the fingers. And lower. Very good. I'm going to scoot a little forward. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale. Circle. Sweep arms up. Exhale. Bring down the chi. So next is called spinal cord breathing. It's kind of like a seated cat-cow if you do some of the chair yoga classes. So we'll go back to those cuppy hands here. You remember those, right? So we'll cup them here in front of our collarbones. And basically what we're going to do is inhale, elbows up, chest forward. So that's the cow version. And then exhale, curve your spine, belly button tight for your cat, for your spinal cord breathing. You kind of bring the hands down in the middle here. And again, inhale, elbows up. Exhale, curve that spine. Now maybe curve the spine a little bit less if it's spicy for your pelvis. And again, inhale, elbows up. Spinal cord breathing. Exhaling. Let's turn it to the side this time. Inhale, elbows up, 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 up. Exhale, back to the center. Other side, elbows up. Exhale, back to the center. And one more time, back to the center. Elbows up, breathe in. And then exhaling. The next one, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This time, bring the back of the hands down the heart center for our blood pressure technique. Hands down the center, back of the hands here. And then we're going to bring the hands forward. We're going to take the thumb over to the pinky side, lay it in your palm, however you can, okay? Then you fold your fingers over that thumb. So that stimulates the heart meridian. Then you inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Whether you have high or low blood pressure, it equalizes it. And then exhale, arms out to the side. Let's do that again. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhaling, hands down the heart center. Grab those thumbs and then inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale out to the side. Let's do that again. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, 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 up. Exhale, come on down. Grab those thumbs. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale out to the side. Let's finish that breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring down the chi. Very good. From here, draw a circle in and then the other. I'm kind of shifting my weight from one bun to the air to the other. I can't talk. This is called parry, but you may know it as wax on, wax off. Especially if you've been watching any Karate Kid lately, yeah? And then let's pause and then wipe it out. So why is it when I wipe out bigger circles than when I wiped in? I don't know why. It just is what it is, yeah? So this is definitely brain work going on here. Our brain and our core. Now let's wipe it out like we're wiping the windows. So now you probably recognize the the wax on, wax off. Hello, shoulders. Oh yeah. And you know what? Let's reverse that. So you're wiping in. It takes a few times to kind of get that, that rhythm of it. Now, if you want to do something a little bit more vigorous, it's always if, okay? You don't have to, but you make fists and you bring your elbows a little bit more in. So you're really getting into all those kind of nooks and crannies in your rib cage, in your lungs. Again, you don't have to go to this extreme. I'm just giving you another option here. Again, this is great for your brain, great for your core. And in fact, let's just kind of bring it back on top where we're wiping in, and then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. You may notice a little tingling going on, a little energy kind of happening here. You may not. Clap the hands, rub those hands. Let's do a little Qigong detox. So we're going to tap our armpit and then bring it down the side body, low on that hip bone, pubic bone, and bring it up the center. Bring it up here to the collar and do palm up and go to the shoulder. Everybody loves the shoulder. Well, I love the shoulder. And bring it down the inside. Here we go. Then we're going to turn, once it gets to the wrist, turn it to the side of the arm and bring it up the side of the arm. Stay here at the shoulder a little bit. You can do a fist or open palm. And then let's swipe off that excess energy here. Let's do that again. Clap the hands. Rub some heat into the hands. Oh, I love that part. Gets those kind of stiff fingers, palms, kind of warmed up a little bit. All right. Again, let's go to the armpit. Tap, 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 and go down the side body. You may have to turn a little bit to make that happen. Down to the hip bone, the pubic bone, and bring it up the front. I kind of do a fist here up the front. And I go to the shoulder, move that hair out of the way. Palm up, and bring it down the inside. So here we go. And then turn the hand, palm down, go to the outside. Tap, tap, tap. And stay here at the shoulder just a little bit. Very good. Now swipe it off. Swipe off that energy. Very nice. Okay, clap the hands once again. Rub some heat. Let's do some foot patterns. So we're going to do sumo stomp. So sumo stomp is like air pose and chair yoga where we bring the leg out to the side and in. So just practice that a little bit. This is your getting in and out of the car, functional movement. And then we're going to add some air to that or a little stomp. So you bring the knee up and if you want to, a little vibrational stomp into the floor. If you don't want to do the stomp, you just do a soft landing. Now what I like to do is take my fingers underneath my knee pit and go a little bit higher in my range of motion. Now this is a little spicy for me, but again, I'm just kind of warming up that hip bone, that musculature around this area. Again, it's considered to be a bone density enhancer. Let's do two more. This is 2 and 1. And then bring it back to the center. Now let's start with the other side. So you're going to notice left side versus the right. So maybe you just slide it out. And again, if you want to use your hand to slide it out, sometimes I feel a little snap, crackle, pops on this side. And then let's add a little air to it. So bring it up. And maybe you do your own strength to kind of go, okay, that's what I am with my own strength. Maybe then you add a little bit more with the hand underneath. Maybe not, okay? Ooh. 2 more. 2, 1. Okay, and back to the center. Clap those hands. Ooh, that was loud. Let's rub those shins. If you're allowed to hinge forward, rub those shins, those calves, the side of the legs, the inside, the underneath on that side. And let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, bring down the chi. Very good. Let's bring those ankle bones together. And we're going to do, it's called the jitterbug. So you keep the ankles together. We're going to heel toe out to the side. So again, to notice your ankle mobility. This is also brain work in just a second. All right, and maybe your upper body, you can twist, maybe not. Again, do what you can with what you got today. Try to keep those knees together if you can, okay? One more time, all the way out to one side, and then join me in the center. And then we bring our heels apart, toes in, kind of like a little reverse Charlie Chaplin thing here. And then independently walk them out and in. So here we go. Oof. Oh, the ankle went poppity pop. Are you noticing one side stronger than the other? One more time, all the way out and all the way in. Very good. From here, bring one foot forward, out to the side, forward to the chair. Other side. Forward, out to the side, forward to the chair. Now maybe use your hand to do this, and that's okay. We're going to add 3 on to this. Forward, out to the side, and draw it in 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Way out, forward to the chair. Other side, forward, way out, bring it in 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Way out, forward to the chair. We're going to do it 5 times this time. Forward, way out, bring it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Way out, forward to the chair. Other side, last time, forward, way out, bring it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Way out, forward to the chair. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and then bring your palms down when you bring them down to heart center. Next is swallow flies to the nest. I'm going to bring my feet just a little bit wider today. So we're going to take a palm and bring it across, breathe in, and then exhale way out to the side. Inhale up and over, and then exhale, land it out here in front of you. Come back to the center, bring the other hand, inhaling across. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over, and exhale out in front of you. Bring it back to the center. I'm going to do a little poem with this. So inhale, swallow flies east. Bring it out to the side, swallow flies west. Inhale up, swallow flies up and over, and exhale, and lands in its nest. Very good. Bring it back to the center, other side. Swallow flies east, doesn't know directions, breathe in. Swallow flies west, out to the side. Swallow flies up and over, very good, and lands in its nest. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to add the ball to that so you can kind of visually see that if you want to. Inhale, swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And exhale, lands in its nest. Again, inhaling, bring it across. Swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Back to the center. Let's finish that breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And as if your hand were on top of the ball, you're bringing the energy down the center, back down to your center, your dantian. Okay, beautiful. So the next one is tornado. So imagine you have a ball here, or maybe you do have a ball, but you have it here at chest level. I'm going to bring my feet out just a little bit more, and we're drawing horizontal circles. We're kind of shifting our weight from one bun to the other, and then we start to bring it upwards. Now, anytime this doesn't feel like it's a good thing for you, you can stay at this or a little bit less, but then we're going to go up here at the head level and really grab your core, bring it back behind you. So again, I have my feet a little wide, press firmly into the floor. And then let's pause, and guess what? Go the other way. It's always like, ooh, I got to get used to one way, and now we're going the other way. Okay. Go slower if you need to. Go lower if you need to, okay? And then, in fact, let's go lower. And then bring it here at your chin level, chest level, and back down low. Very good. From here, with the you know, you're as if you were holding a ball, let's draw a figure 8 on a table in front of us. Again, a little bit of brain work here. My cursive figure 8 is not pretty. I would not pass any penmanship awards. Let me just put it out there, okay? And then you're going to pause and make it go the other way. So here's your little brain work going on here. Did your brain kind of go, whoa, what are we doing here? Yeah, I did. Yeah, but funny enough, the weird direction for me, it looks like it's a better figure 8 for me. Or maybe not. I'm not, who knows? Oh my gosh, I went back to the original direction. My brain just took over. All right, and then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Again, as if you were hanging onto a ball, bring it down to the heart center. From here, we'll do the vertical 8. So we're kind of dipping over here to one side and then the other. So it's a big cursive letter 8, or number 8. I guess it's not a letter, is it? No, it's not a letter. So really getting into those side torso muscles here. Again, go a little bit less vigorous if you need to, okay? And then pause at the center, and then we got to go the other direction. Hello, shoulders. Whew. One more. And then once you get to the center, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, bring down the chi. Very nice. Let's bring a leg out to the side. You're pointing the toes. You're going to take the same side arm on top of that leg, and then take your other hand, clasp at that wrist. Can't say that. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, float those arms down and bring the leg in. Let's do the other side. So point the toe. This is called monkey stretch. Hand on the leg, same one that the leg is extended. Hand on that wrist, and inhaling up, 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 up. Try not to arch your spine too much here, okay? And then exhale, float it down. Very good. Let's do that again. So bring a leg out, hand on the leg, hand on the wrist, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale, float it down. Bring it in. Inhale, extend that other leg, hand on the wrist. Again, inhaling up. And exhale, float it down. Very good. Bring it in. Next is young man praise. So we've done this a couple of times, but the key is to do this kind of weird little shape with your hand where you bring all your fingers onto your thumb. So hands down beside your hips, sit up tall at the edge of your chair. So inhale, up goes the arms with those little weird little duck hands, as I like to call them. And then exhale, press the palms away. Very good. Inhale, circle the arms in front of you. And then clap, the hands are together, fingers up, fingers towards your chest, fingers up, bring it out and forward, bring the arms out into that circle and float them down. Let's do that again. Inhale, up, up, up. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, gather them into the center, palms together, palms up, palms towards your chest. Exhale, press the palms away, out, and down. Let's do that again. Inhale, fingers to the thumbs, arc those tops of the wrists. Exhale, push the palms away. Inhale, gather them in. And then bring the hands together, fingers up, fingers towards your chest, fingers up and away and down and all the way down. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bring down the chi. Very good. Next is teacup. So teacup is where we hinge forward, and then we bring a palm. The objective is to keep the palm up the entire time. So palm up, and you hide your hand back behind you. Then you take your opposite shoulder as the arm that's behind you. Lean out, and you do your palm out to the side. So the objective here is to draw a low circle and back behind you, keeping that palm up and bring it back to the center. So a lot of times we kind of flip the wrist when we do this. So again, it's kind of like lots of awareness going on. So again, let's do fist to chest, and then hide the fist, yeah? And then palm up out to the side. I'm leaning out the opposite direction. Now I'm going to draw it low and like a little spiral. And I can watch my hand, make sure it's palm up as I bring it back around. I'm going to do the ball to make a little bit more visualization of this. So again, fist to your armpit, and then hide your fist, lean out that opposite direction so it's palm up, and you can bring it low. And again, you can watch it to make sure that palm is up and bring it back around. Very good. Let's do that again. Hinge forward, ball to the armpit or fist to the armpit. Hide your fist, hide your hand, lean out, then the arm out to the side, palm up, and then bring it low and back behind you and back to the center. Very good. Now here comes the weird stuff. You're switching it over to the other hand. So to begin with, it's fist to your armpit, or near your ribs, I should say. Hinge forward, hide your fist. So you feel a little squeeze of the armpit when you do that. Palm out to the side, palm up. So the objective is palm up. So you're going to bring it low. Maybe you want to watch it the entire time to make sure it happens, and then bring it back around. Again, hand to the armpit, and then hide it back behind you. Very good. Palm out to the side, and here we go. Watch the palm. Make sure, palm up. You're leaning back. You're using that core. Bring it back to the center. Again, I'm going to visualize this with the ball. Fist to the armpit or hand to the armpit, and then hide your hand back behind you. Again, hide it, hide it, hide it. Lean out, palm out. Okay, here we go. Make that spirally twist and bring it back around. Very good. So, if you want to get a squishy ball for next time we do chair Tai Chi, that also kind of helps with these particular postures. So again, here we go. Hand to the armpit, and then hide the ball, lean forward, lean out to the side. Very good. Palm up, and here we go. We're going to bring it low and then bring it back behind us, kind of like we did in tornado, and then back to the center. Very good. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the chi. Very good. So we're going to do the big 6 detoxing method. So we're going to take our hands, and let me come up a little bit closer to the camera on this one, just so that you can get this a little bit more of a visualization going on here. Again, we're going to find your collarbone, and we're going to spread out the hands. So we rub across on the above and below the collarbone. So we kind of get rid of that lymphatic fluid by moving it. That's the only way you can do that. Our heart pumps our blood, but we don't have a mechanism for pumping the lymphatic fluids in our bodies. And you can also tap across, okay? Very good. Let's do the other side. So again, stroke across above and below the collarbone. Some people do this in the shower, but it's better to do skin to on top of the closing or skin to skin, because you can kind of really, you're going to be moving it a little bit better. You may notice excessive sinus drainage, maybe, the ability to go to the restroom better after doing something like this. This is also to increase your cerebral spinal fluid flow, get rid of that waste in your brain. So we're going to take our hands. Maybe you can do Spock hands. Maybe you can't, but you do fingers in front of your ears and in the back of your ears and stroke down the side of the neck and the jawline. So we have a lot of, when you go to the doctor and you're sick, they check your, your neck to see if you've got any swollen lymph glands, as they call them, swollen lymph nodes. So we're physically getting rid of this internal waste, okay? Now we're going to switch to the thymus thump. So find your collarbone, go about 1 or 2 inches below that, and thump your thymus. You can do 1 or 2 fingers here or do both sets. So we have the thymus gland underneath here. And after about age 30, it doesn't work as efficiently as it does, below the age 30. So we physically stimulate it to create more T cell production, which helps us boost our immunity. So you do this for about a minute a day if you can. Notice if it feels tender, okay? All right, that usually means there's some inflammation going on in your body, yeah? So we just took a little roadblock or a little detour. We did the thymus thump. We're going to go next to the armpit. So you make a little right angle with your hand. You can just chop into your armpit, or, you got your thumb in front of here. You can kind of stimulate the pectoral muscles, or you can just rub, or you can, pat. So somehow you get some movement going on here. So men and women that get breast cancer, they check these areas to see, did the cancer move to these lymph nodes? So we're physically getting rid of those wastes in our bodies, okay? You can look up more by looking up the word big 6, B-I-G number 6. All right, let's go over to the other one. So here we go. You can kind of do little soft little movements. You can kind of rub in there. You can pat in there. Again, the big 6 detox, Qigong detox. You make sure that thumb's also kind of stimulating here in the pectorals, all right? So areas number 1 was the collarbone. Number 2 was the neck. We did a bonus of the thymus thump. Number 3 was the armpit. Next is the stomach area. So I'm going to move my feet forward a little bit, and I'm finding where my ribs are. I'm going to go in the center here and just kind of stroke across. That's where the diaphragm kind of gets stuck up in underneath those ribs there. So sometimes if you have kind of challenged breathing, It's because that diaphragm's super tight, yeah? And then just go ahead and take your hands, either the side of the hands, and chop the belly. Your gut is considered to be your second brain in your body, so there's a lot of interrelated gut-brain issues. So let's just kind of chop the waistline up and above. You can just kind of rub up and down too. All right. Now I'm going to bring my legs up kind of out the side. Where that leg inserts into the torso, that crease there, it's called the agonal crease. I can't say the word. Also known as the qua in Tai Chi. You take the sides of the hands and you chop the qua, okay? So again, this is the area, if you have prostate cancer, they check in this area. This is the closest area where lots of lymph nodes are. Did the cancer move to these lymph nodes? So again, let's get in here and take care of some of this ourselves, okay? You tend to get swelling in the feet and the ankles. You got to work the back of the knee to make that be a little bit less swelling in the feet. So we're going to take the fingers, and I'm making my feet go a little bit more forward, and I'm rubbing the back of the knee. It's also the bottom of the hamstring, the top of the calf. You can also take that angle and chop. But if you've got Baker cyst issues with back of the knees, you may want to go a little bit less vigor, okay? And we also have the sides of the thumb stimulating the sides of the knees, which again is for lessening knee pain. Very good. And again, this one particularly is great for lessening edema, swelling in the feet. But you got to do numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make it beneficial. Very good. And then sit up nice and tall. So I mentioned earlier we're going to do non-sleep, what was it called? Non-sleep rest, deep sleep meditation. So it's a little bit different than our yoga nidras. It's not as long. It's about a 5-minute practice. So we'll do this today as part of our guided rest and relaxation practice. So I invite you to get comfortable. So that might mean getting on the couch, laying on the floor, getting snuggy in your chair, okay? Somehow you get someplace where you can enjoy this meditation for the next 5 minutes. So welcome to this 5-minute non-sleep deep rest meditation. So get comfortable. You may need to shrug some shoulders, move some arms, some legs. You may need to adjust a little bit. And sometimes for veterans, it's hard to be still. If you need to move, it's perfectly fine. You can move during this practice. I invite you to close the eyes or gaze softly, or if you need to, keep the eyes open. Maybe have the eyes gazing down towards the floor. So let's get the eyes comfortable and relax. Let's begin here by taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. So let's do that. Breathe in and then slowly out. Let's do another one again. Breathing in, slowly out. All you have to do is listen to my voice. Good. One more deep breath in and slowly, slowly out. And now let's allow the body to completely relax, to soften. From here, let's bring awareness to your feet. See if you can feel the big toes of both feet. And then the little toes of both feet. Be aware of the arches of each foot and the heels. And again, slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. Let's become aware of our ankles. And then slowly move that awareness to the lower legs, feeling the calf muscles, the shins, And let your consciousness, your awareness, slowly drift up your legs, moving into the knee joints. And now feeling the knees, both in the front and in the back. And let's allow that breath to continue to flow naturally. Let's bring that awareness. Let's move it up and into the thighs, feeling the quadriceps, the front of the legs, and the hamstrings at the back of your legs. And then gradually, let's bring that awareness into our hip joints. Be aware of the hip joint. Let's be aware of the backside, the pelvic floor, and the groin. Then let's move our attention, our awareness up into the abdomen, as well as that low back. Let's be aware of that feeling into the lower segment of our torso. Noticing the belly and that midsection of the back. Notice those areas. Again, breathing in, breathing out. Let's notice the chest, the heart, and that mid-back. Bring all your awareness into the chest, the heart, and the mid-back. And let's shift that awareness to way up into our shoulders. Yeah, and then flow it down the upper arms, down the elbows, the forearms, into the wrists, the palms, the back of the palms. Breathing in, breathing out. Then feeling the thumbs of both hands, the index fingers, the middle fingers, the ring fingers, and the little fingers. Let's shift from our hands to the front of our throat and the back of our neck. Notice the chin, the jaw, the lips, the nose. And then watching the breath as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Noticing your forehead. Be aware of the crown of your head, at the top of the head. And then let's bring into our awareness the entire body, the whole body, as it's connected from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Be aware of and be connected to the whole body. Be very interested. Now, as you bring that awareness into the whole body, I invite you to, again, engage in a slow, deep breath. So together, let's breathe in. And if you can, through the nose or out through the mouth. And again, breathing in. Let's become aware of the hands and the feet. Let's move those hands and feet a little bit. Maybe a heel lift here and there, a little calf pump, a little rotation of the wrists. And in fact, bring the hands together, interlace the hands, and let's draw a number 8 with our clasped hands. Nice and slow. And let's reverse that. So we're coming out of our non-sleep deep rest into a little bit of movement, coming back into the body. Very good. We'll do our hand tapping sequence next, and then we'll do our gratitude practice to end our class. So let's tap the sides of the pinky. That helps with lessening headaches, vertigo. And if you're slowly coming out of that non-sleep deep rest, take your time. Join us when you're ready. Again, you do this for about a minute or 100 times to stimulate the heart meridian. Very good. Let's move it into the interwebs of the thumb. So that's for digestive disorders or nausea. So you tap into that webbing between the index finger and the thumb. Again, it's not like a hard thing. It's just you noticing it. You're tapping into it, okay? For digestive disorders, for nausea. Now this is your normal way to do this, so let's flip it, again. So we're working both sides of the brain when we do this too. Very good. Let's go into the interwebs of the fingers. So that's for pain or numbness in the limbs. Now if you got rings, be mindful of that, okay? Sometimes I have a ring on one side, then the other. It makes a nice little clank noise. So you normally interlace your fingers a certain way. You may not know that, but you do, yeah? Then we're going to pause and wiggle the top finger and then shift the other finger to be on top. So that's your way you normally don't interlace your hands. So it may feel a little strange, and that's okay. So again, creating new neural pathways with new sensations in our body. So that's a good thing. Then, like we did when we swung the arms, we had the cuppy hands. We're going to cup the hands and tap on top of the hand. So that's for pain. Let's see, what is it? That's for osteoarthritis or back pain. We'll do the wrists next at the pulse points. So again, I'm kind of cupping it to where I'm not, hitting a ring on the top of the hand so much. And let's switch over to the other side. So again, I cut my hand a little bit more. Makes a nice little sound. Good. Next, we kind of skipped one. We're going to do the pulse points here at the wrists. So that's for heart and cardiovascular issues. So I kind of do up and you can do like together like this, but I like to do up and down because then we get to do it a little bit more. So again, at those pulse points. And flip it. Okay, there you go. So we already did the back of the hand. Next is the back of the wrist, and that's for neck and shoulder pain. So cup the hand and tap on the top of the wrist. Now I got my watch here, so I'm going to be a little bit different place because I got my watch here. Let's do the other one. Again, back of the wrist, cup that hand. Again, curve it a little bit if you've got a ring. Back of the wrist, again, is neck and shoulder pain. Now I like this one particularly because I can notice the strength of my hand. But make a little fist and pound into the palm. That's good for stress, anxiety, improves clarity and consciousness. And I'm a little bit more vigorous on this one. Go as fast or as hard as you are comfortable doing, okay? Now switch it, then notice, is one more strong than the other? Maybe. Again, clap the hands, rub some heat into the hands. Very nice. Let's give our brain a little boost before we end the class today. So tap your cranium, your head. Make sure you get the sides also and get that roundy part at the back of the head too. And then come up the back to the front, go down the sides. Very good. You may feel some residual tingling, some little vibration going on with what we just did. So now I invite you either to have hands together or hands stacked and place them here at our heart center. And let's think about one thing that we might be grateful for today, or maybe an idea of gratitude, okay? and you kind of clasp that, grasp that, and let's place it into our heart center. And in fact, let's just drop our chin a little bit towards our chest in gratitude of you just showing up today. And then think about what you're grateful for at this moment. Heart rate should be going down a little bit from where we were earlier today. And then you can keep your chin towards your chest, or you can have your eyes gaze forward, but we're going to end our class like we started it. So we're going to take that right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon, and then we'll bow down to one another to end our chair Tai Chi class today. That concludes the practice of chair Tai Chi. Let me stop the recording.